Може ли основната тема на това интервю да е евтаназията?
Yeah.
В България отхвърлих предложение за проекто закон за приемане на евтаназия. Може ли Рей Клуун да ни обясни защо е хубаво човек да може да си избира достойната смърт?
Well, I think with the matter of death, you have to be very careful with people's feelings and also with religious background. In the Netherlands, the last 30 years the churches went empty, and there are still a lot of people religious, but the majority is not religious anymore. And we have always been a quite liberal country, and so it fits the fact that euthanasia is allowed in Holland under very, very strict circumstances. Someone has to have pain, there has to be no way out, and there has to be, as they call it, inhuman suffering. A doctor needs to come there, a second doctor needs to come there. They have to be absolutely sure, these doctors, that there is no pressure from family or friends, and only then it's allowed. Personally, I'm a liberal person, and my wife was very happy that euthanasia in Holland was allowed. So I respect people's religious feelings or whatever feelings. For myself, I'm very happy that I live in a country where you can decide when to die, and I've seen that it's very human.
Ако все пак можеш и вие да направите избора вместо съпругата си, щеш ли да изберете за нея същия изход?
Yes. Well, not for her, because I said, when she asked me what I thought about that, I really said, I want to support you in everything, but this is a decision that you are making, and I don't feel that I have anything to say. And I said, if you choose for it, then I'm completely behind you and support you. If you choose to live on, I also completely support you. For myself, I think I would choose the same, but you've got to be very strong. I've seen the death of my wife, and for me it was as beautiful as the birth of my children. I was there, and it was really, she was happy when she died, and she was happy when she could find the moment. And from that moment on that I saw it, I'm not afraid of death anymore. I don't want to die, but I'm not afraid of death anymore. But to choose it yourself and to really know that you are going to die, you have to have a lot of courage. And I don't know if I would have the courage at that time, but I'm glad that I have the opportunity in Holland to do so.
Може ли да се върнете за малко в оня ден, в който тя избра евтаназията и лекаря я приложи, чисто процесуално как се случват нещата? В Холандия те изпиват чаша с сок с течност.
The whole procedure is that the person you have to have a statement, a declaration that you might want to do that, which is very important, because also if something happens with your mind and you're in a coma or you cannot think anymore, then it's not allowed anymore. So by the time that you still can think clearly, you have to put this in writing. Otherwise, if my wife would have been in a coma and she wouldn't have signed it, I would not have been able to tell doctors that she was really willing to. That's the first thing, and then your own doctor, he's going to have a conversation with her. Nobody is allowed to be there, and he is introducing another doctor, and he has to say the same conversation. And when they both agree that there is no pressure and that and that there is no possibility that she's ever going to recover and that there is pain, if they both agree and they sign it, then the doctor can ask for then he can get this drink or whatever.
What does it look like?
It looks like ouzo. And I can remember that I held the glass and he said, can you give me a glass? And I thought, well, maybe it's a good idea to throw this glass away before we have like 7 people in the kitchen later on if I don't clean it well. And then after the death, then there's a lot of signing of forms, and you also have to sign that the doctor was allowed to do that. So there are more formal things, and it is a very, as I said, I found it beautiful to see, and beautiful to see the way how she was happy and died with a smile on her face. And some people say that death has an ugly face if people are in pain or if people are afraid, but I have seen that death can also have be a relief, and that people can be perfectly happy at that moment.
Аз съм чела книгата и знам как протича нещата, но за зрителите тя изпива течността, отровата, образно казано. И колко време след това още беше жива и успя ли да каже нещо?
What the doctor says is best thing is that you say goodbye to each other now, and of course he leaves for a while. Then because like 30 seconds after you're drinking, then you feel that your body is moving away. It's like you fall asleep, and I can remember her telling that, oh, this feels good, because one way or another I think it is like a drug that you feel, or a medicine, and it takes about 30 seconds. The only thing is that while she wasn't there anymore, she was in a kind of coma. She wasn't technically dead, so the doctor had to do something more. But you also, then it is active euthanasia. That's with another difference. So he has to ask me if I was okay with that, and had to sign that and say yes, it's okay, do that. She doesn't feel anything, and she didn't feel anything anymore. But still, it's legally a different way. And then because she was so young, her heart was so strong. Most of the time, people who ask for euthanasia are older, and their heart stops. With her heart was so strong. She wasn't there, but her heart was still there. And finally, she died. Technically, from a technical point of view, from this injection, but she didn't know it anymore. When the doctor said at a particular moment, he feels her pulse, and he said, now she's not there anymore, and then she said, with her eyes closed, I'm still there. So there was a joke, we both laughed, and everybody, when I went down in the kitchen where all our family was and all our friends, they also laughed about her last words being a joke. And 8 years later, when the premiere of the movie was there, what happened in real life is literally in the book, this particular scene, and it was also in the movie. And in the movie there was a premiere with all VIPs and famous people and the actors and family and everybody, of course, with the last scene, that Carice van Houten, which is the best Dutch actress, she was playing Carmen, and she played so well that everybody was crying, and people never feel comfortable if they're crying with other people around, and that and when Carice was saying, no, I'm still there, everybody was laughing. You felt a relief that we were allowed to laugh again. So that was really touching for me, because humor was the strongest belief that my wife had, the strength of humor. And her last words being a joke, and 8 years after her death, a full theater is laughing about her last words. So that was kind of special to be there.
В един много дебел учебник, български, теория на литературата, пише, че авторите са, буквално цитирам, нещастието ги прави продуктивни и обратно щастието ги прави непродуктивни.
Absolutely.
В този смисъл сега щастлив ли е Рей Клуун?
Well, the good thing is, if you're happy, you can still write books about humor, or you shouldn't write about your emotions, because these emotions are boring if you're happy.